Hello everyone, welcome to a DSP video. I know this weekend preview thing is coming out on a Tuesday, not Monday, but I figure Tuesday's like the last day I can try to upload it. Usually Wednesday it's a maybe, and then after that I say fuck it, I missed my window. But yeah, so let's get this shit started. Check the mic by the way, so we should be in business. Oh, let's take a look at this week in preview, October 9th. Wow. October 9th, 2016. Gears! WWE! PSVR! Mafia! Oh my! So many exclamation marks. So many. Phil's life. Was Phil in your dream last night, Mr. King? What? I hate that this guy gets trolled so much. He isn't as bad as everyone says. What is this fucking comment? I I think Tevin might have said the same thing as me, but I'm so yes I'm sorry I'm agreeing with him. These comments are so fucking stupid. Like it's fine to be a fan of him. I'm not saying that it's dumb if you give him any compliments. No, but like this is like yeah he's not a bad person. Phil isn't a terrible human being. I mean there are worse humans than Phil out there. Phil is like he's not really that bad. He's just kind of like, and he's just a guy on YouTube who does things that people disagree with. And some people agree with him. Okay, I mean it's that. It's like some people like my channel, some people don't. Some people know I have another channel that's about my own work, and some people don't. It's not. What can I do? But I just don't get what. So, I mean, think about it. Let's say Phil's reading this comment. I hate this guy gets trolled so much. Okay, he isn't as bad as everyone says. Yeah, cool, dude. I just don't care. Oh, gifted guy said something. Which one's gifted guy? I guess he deleted his comment because he's not here. But yeah, it's so fucking stupid to say that. He could have made a more productive comment, I guess. But it's a comment. Someone's gonna get angry over that, but okay. Kaisen 10. I abandoned Mafia 3 playthrough way too repetitive. Okay. The only people who are dropping are people who really are trying to rush through the game, so I guess the game is weeding out the people who don't care about the game. Google Satellite, Job Simulator, or Battlezone. Look good to VR play. What? Okay. I think you should go back to shaving your head, Phil. It looks a lot better with the beard. Is he saying like you get a buzz cut? Okay. Does anyone love watching DSP's Red Dead Redemption playthrough? What is Black Dude doing right now? Hey, I'm not black. Fucking racist. I'm joking. Phil, by the way, keep up the great work. You are one of the long-standing YouTubers that care about their fans. Thank you. Okay. I'm not gonna say anything about that. I mean, everyone knows what I'd say about that. Everyone, yeah. Sure hope Phil isn't going to be wearing those Tritons with PSVR. Those bright LED lights on the side will seriously mess up the PlayStation camera track. Dude, that's gonna be amazing. Oh, man, I'm hyped. I'll pledge $20 a month, but the first day you shave, I'm going to cancel it. We got a deal, Phil. What? No Shadow Warrior 2. Watch your banjo playthrough a couple days ago. Enjoyed it. As for Mafia 1, didn't get entertained to be honest, mostly due to its gameplay. Okay, sure. Batman Return to Arkham comes out October 18th. Are you going to check it out? Okay. Let's watch this. I wasted enough. I wasted everyone's time already. This is on my end.
There it is. I was like, where the hell is it? What is going on, everyone? DSP here, and welcome to the Week in Preview. It is Sunday night, October 9th, 2016, as I film this, and let me tell you, I'm filming this super late. Like, usually I would film this at least an hour earlier than I'm filming it today. But I have been slammed. You can see it. Look, my hair's all screwed up, and I haven't even shaved in days.
Slammed.
I've been slammed with games. Let's put it that way.
He gets video games causes him to like what? Okay, I mean, he sounds like a defeated person over video games, and he's supposed to be hyping people to watch his playthroughs, but he looks like he's ready to like roll over. How is that supposed to hype people? I mean, that's like if Sony came out on E3 and was like, guys, we are so slammed with making games, guys. Oh man, we got No Man's Sky. Oh my god, I'm so like, you're not gonna be fucking hyped. You can be like, holy shit, dude, this guy looks exhausted. What the fuck? He should have gotten some rest. like, come on.
I knew this was going to happen. We knew that this was going to be the beginning of the hardcore gaming season, and that a ton of stuff was going to come out at once. And I'm doing my damnedest already, only the first week into it, to stay caught up with everything, right? To stay in line with everything, to not fall behind. So, this past week, what did I do? I finished up my playthroughs of Dead Rising, the New Game Plus run that I did through it, which was much quicker than the first run, by the way, and much different. I fought all the psychopaths in the game and did all that stuff. I finished up my run in Forza Horizon.
Yeah, because he got his handheld. Everyone helped him out. And of course it was faster because you know everything already. And you walk a lot faster. It's so fucking stupid to be like, well, it's a lot different. Like, of course it's different. If I popped in Peace Walker right now, it's a different game because guess what? I have a maxed out trank gun. I have maxed out gear. I'm basically a walking god in that game. I like nothing like stands a chance against me unless I go to like the extra ops where I do like the severely hard mechs. But even then, I'm sure that like I can get through those fine.
3 finally finished the campaign of that game. And then on Friday, I started my gameplay of Mafia.
Campaign of Forza 3. Forza 3 has no campaign. It's just, you know, they of course they have an end point for that game because all you do is fucking race. That's it. So of course it's gonna end somewhere, but it's not.
3.
It's like Madden saying Madden 2005 had a campaign. There was no campaign, but whatever.
And for 3 straight days, I have played the living hell out of this game. And what I actually want to do very shortly in this video is give you my opinions up to now. Because as of right now, I played the game for around 5 to 6 hours on Friday, 5 to 6 hours on Saturday, and yes, today, my gameplay stream on Sunday, which is usually only 3 hours long, was 6. So at this point, I am somewhere in the realm of 15 to 18 hours, depending on breaks and stuff, into the game. Here's what I think about Mafia 3 so far. The gameplay is a combination of Mafia 2, Grand Theft Auto style like Grand Theft Auto 5, and a kind of sneaking stealth game. Recent comparisons would be games such as, I would say, Metal Gear Solid 5. The Last of Us might be a good comparison, how you had to do stealth kills and stuff in that game. Some people have even made the comparison to Assassin's Creed. I don't see that. I think that people are saying that because in Assassin's Creed you don't really have projectiles. You're doing hand-to-hand executions and stuff, okay? The game is interesting in that regard. What they try to do is make a hybrid where stealth works very well, but if you screw up, now it's run and gun, and you have to basically try to salvage a bad situation. Or on the flip side, there may be people that just play this game purely run and gun and do good at it because maybe you go during a path where you can get upgrades and stuff that make your weapons and your run and gun abilities better than, say, focusing on stealth, okay? And I could see that. But what I can tell you is this. I like the story. I like the actual atmosphere. The music is superb, okay? The amount of characters and the elaborations on the stories, even for side characters, you get to find out their backgrounds and stuff, is top-notch. But the big glaring thing that happened to me today, now my third major day playing Mafia 3, the game fell into the same formula as every single sandbox game besides, say, the AAA ones like Grand Theft Auto. It fell into repetition, grinding, doing the same kind of gameplay over and over and over and over, and basically just padding the length of the game. The bottom line is with Mafia 3, now, like I said, I'm around 15 to 18 hours into it right now. If the game didn't have grinding, repetitive gameplay and everything was unique, the 15 to 18 hours that I would have played right now probably would have been, no lie, about 10 hours. That's how much. It's like 50% padding, like extending the length of the game because you're doing either, oh, you have to kill this guy who's surrounded by enemies. You have to blow up these assets that'll take out a racket. You have to steal a car or steal a boat or steal something and drive across the map. And sadly, those three things that I just described to you are the vast majority of the gameplay of Mafia 3. There are some unique missions that I've liked. There was a bank heist. There was a tower invasion that was pretty unique. You had to get away after the end of it. There were a few missions here or there that were like, wow, these are great. These feel original and different. But for the most part, the vast majority of the game is turning into a repetitive grind, and that's not a good thing. Why in this...
But I remember when he started playing the game, he was like, "Oh, these are grinding missions that are repetitive, but I still like the game." Like, he was sucking at the game's dick so hard. The only reason why he's complaining about the grinding now is because he didn't finish it in the time he thought he could take. But that's the thing that people were kind of giving shit to before, is that, or at least, well, maybe not giving him shit, but like, we're suspecting he would do, that he was going to rush the game, and he did. He's rushing the game because it's just, no one is gonna, if you like a game, like I like Metal Gear Solid 5, and that game does become repetitive by Chapter 2, especially in Chapter 2, it becomes way repetitive. I still stuck through that game because I liked the game. Now, if I got bored with the repetition, I would stop playing the game and be like, okay, I'm going to do something else or whatever. I would not keep playing it if I was getting bored. But that doesn't mean I would just stop playing the game for weeks on end. Like, he's dropping the game for like a week or two so that he can play other games. And it's like, he's either going to like have this be a lingering game, but I don't think that he's gonna drop the game necessarily, because I just don't see that. I don't see it sharing the same thing with Scarface. I think Scarface is more of a a different thing, because he was getting his ass handed to in Scarface. Mafia 3, he wasn't really getting his ass handed to him. It's just he's rushing the game.
This modern era, can't we get a sandbox game, right? A Grand Theft Auto-esque game that has original stuff, that it's not you do the same thing over and over for half of the length. So, again, Mafia 3, the reason that here I am 3 days, almost 18 hours into it, and I'm not done with it yet, is because it keeps throwing padding at me. And the padding is actually absolutely required to do in order to advance the story. You can't unlock the next leg of the story and the new cutscenes and the new things that are going to happen in the story until you do the grinding to qualify to get to it. So, my original plan for Mafia 3 was that I was going to try to finish it by tomorrow. That's still the plan, but I don't know how viable that kind of goal is. Alright, now let me explain. Tomorrow, I'm doing 2 gameplay streams again. I have to. There's no way with one more gameplay stream, 3.5 hours, that I'm going to finish this game. It's just not going to happen. So it looks to me like tomorrow's going to be another marathon day of Mafia 3, alright? From what I can tell, it looks like there's 2 to 3 district takeover missions left, all right? And after that, as long as the game doesn't throw me for a crazy loop, it's probably the conclusion of the game. Now, what I've noticed, the district takeovers take about an hour and a half each to do. So today on stream, I actually took over 2 entire districts, and I finished half of another district, and then I was about to start up a new district, but I also did some side content. So that's what took 6 hours today. It was like 4 to 4.5 hours of story advancement and district takeovers, and like an hour and a half of side content, okay?
Side content.
So tomorrow, what I'm going to try to do is get as far as I can on this first stream and try to maybe wrap it up on second stream and finish the game, all right? Now, here's the thing. I know that most of you who follow my content, who are watching the playthroughs, are not caught up. There's no way you could be. I just played 15 to 18 hours of gameplay in 3 days. That's nuts. How is anyone going to have enough free time to catch up on it? I know very few people, viewers of mine, have caught up on it. That's okay, all right? The good thing is, you know, I am not rushing through the game, right? I'm learning the game mechanics.
I'm not rushing through the game,
even though some of the grinding is starting to get on my fucking nerves. And I'm thinking maybe
let's hear that
grinding
again.
is starting to get right on it. That's okay, all right? The good thing is, you know, I am not rushing through the game.
He's not rushing through the game. He only tried to finish the game in 3 days or 4 days or whatever, right? Not rushing through the game. No.
Right? I'm learning the game mechanics. I am trying to enjoy it as much as I can, even though some of the grinding is starting to get on my fucking nerves.
Learning the game mechanics. As far as he is in the game, he should have learned the game mechanics by the beginning. You know, like usually when you play a game, the further you get into it, the less and less the game will hold your hand. It's just like, you know, you should know the mechanics at this point. So there's really nothing to learn other than from your own mistakes, which Phil sometimes does, but not really. Like, he probably learns from his mistakes 10% of the time. Was I gonna say something else? Fuck.
And I'm thinking maybe...
Oh, the grinding. Yeah, it's getting on his nerves because he's rushing through the game. But he's not rushing through the game, even though he wants to finish it in 4 days. Okay.
maybe I can finish it on Monday. We'll see. Between the 2 gameplay streams on Monday,
He doesn't.
we'll see. Now, here's the thing. And this is why it's kind of a thing that's... It's a good thing, but a bad thing. It's like a double-edged sword. There's a ridiculous amount of new releases this week. We've got Gears of War 4 and WWE 2K17 both launching on Tuesday. Okay? In addition to that, we've got the PlayStation VR launching technically on Thursday, but I'm not sure when I'm going to receive it. I already have it pre-ordered with Best Buy, and it says you're supposed to get it on launch day. But there's no guarantee with shipping, companies and all that of a time that it's going to be here. So I could get it early in the morning and great, I could play PSVR all day. Or I could get it late at night and now it's too late and I'll have to wait till Friday, okay?
Oh.
So, the good news is there's tons of new stuff coming this week. If Mafia 3 wasn't your cup of tea and you've been watching, maybe checked out a little bit of it and you're like, man, I wish Phil would do something different because I'm kind of bored of this and this is all Phil's been doing for 3 days now. Starting on Tuesday, you're going to get a wide variety. Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm all about covering Gears of War 4 and WWE. Now, FYI, just so you guys know,
FYI.
WWE this year has no showcase or story mode. Every year that I've played it, they've had this. It's gone. They took it out this year. What they're claiming is that they've focused on the My Career mode. That if you play My Career mode, you create your own wrestler or whatever at the beginning, that it's supposed to be way more robust than ever before. It's a much better experience. I don't know. I'm skeptical. I'm very skeptical of these promises because in previous years I hear, oh, they improved this, they improved that, and then I play it, I'm like, no, they really didn't. It's a new system, but doesn't mean it's improved. It's not any better than the last one. So I'm hoping that this is true. I'm hoping that if I play it this week, that we start My Career mode, it's interesting, it's exciting, and people want to keep seeing it. Because the bottom line is what happened the past 2 years, both in 2015 and 2014. When I played My Career mode, it was interesting for a few sessions, and after 2 or 3 sessions, it became, again, repetitive grinding. A bunch of jobber matches for no fucking reason that were incredibly boring, and the plot line wasn't going anywhere, and I wasn't getting title shots, and it was just a pain in the ass. And it sucks because outside of My Career, since there's no showcase mode this year, the only other thing that I'll do with the game is simulation matches. Now, the other thing is people really don't like the simulation matches that much of the real wrestling. People seem to like the fantasy ones. So great, I'll do fantasy sims, but you can only do them so often because you're going to wait for created wrestlers to be made, and if it's a holiday or something, oh, now I can do a holiday-themed match. But there's only so much you can do. You know what I mean? So I'm honestly pretty skeptical about WWE this year because all of guys, my career, which could flop quickly, and sims that really I can't even do that often. So is it going to even be worth it this year? I don't know. But we're going to find out, all right? Gears of War, it's going to have a campaign. It's going to have multiple multiplayer modes. So Gears of War, after a few sessions, I finish the campaign, I play a multiplayer a few times, could have potential to be something great, or it might not be. You don't know. You never know with a game like that, especially because the franchise was supposed to end with Gears of War 3. Now, here we are years later, Gears of War 4. What? Why? The quest for more money. You know what they...
Well, Gears of War 3 was done by Epic. After that, it's not done by Epic anymore. Good research, Phil.
Say they joke about Spaceballs. In the original Spaceballs movie, they make a joke about the sequel, and they're going to title it The Quest for More Money. Or, no, I'm sorry, The Search for More Money, because that's what happens. You make a sequel to everything just to make more money, even when you said that it was over. So here's the deal. I am not sure yet on Tuesday what I want to do. Do I want to do...
Well, that's the other thing, that kind of... It's kind of true, but it really depends on how you look, how the product is. I can't think of an example. I think maybe I would use... Well, I guess I could use Fargo, I guess, technically. Fargo, I guess, was supposed to be a miniseries. It was supposed to be one season, and that was it. Like, this was supposed to be that. And then FX, bought another season from them, and now they're on their third season. And... I feel that, obviously... no, here's one. Wow, I'm, like, all over the place. The Last Airbender. The Last Airbender was supposed to end with Book 3. Like, there was not going to be any more. It was just going to be that. And then Legend of Korra happened, and if you look at, like, art books, commentaries, all this, it was kind of obvious that it was a mix of Mike and Brian, the creators of the show, wanting to do another series in that universe. And Nickelodeon wanted to do it as well. It was kind of a happy little decision that they came up with. And they only intended for one season. And then they decided to make more seasons. Now, of course, I don't really think Korra was a flagship series for Nick. I don't think Nick made any money off of that show as much as they wanted, but they paid for 4 seasons that they gave us 4 seasons. And, like, it's just, they did all this stuff, it's like, yeah, it's in the quest for more money, but at the same time, some of these times that when people say, like, oh, this is the end, they might decide to go back and make more because they might want to, or that they might miss the series or something, like, oh, The Evil Dead, there you go, see, they have, like, maybe 3 movies, I think, and a good reboot. I think the reboot's fine, I think I liked it, but then they did Ash vs. Evil Dead, and that is kind of a successor to the Evil Dead movies. But they, they ended it years ago, I think it was Army of Darkness, I think. I'm not really familiar with the Evil Dead movies as much. I watched the remake and I got into Ash vs. Evil Dead, so that's been kind of my little foot in the door, I guess, but you can kind of see that these people are, you can argue that, oh, they'll do only Ash versus Evil Dead for money. But it's like, yeah.
WWE as my first stream, then maybe second stream, I try some multiplayer of Gears of War. And then Wednesday, I do the campaign of Gears of War as my main stream. And then at night, maybe I do some more multiplayer or some more of the career. I don't know. And the other thing is, I can't promise you what I'm doing on Thursday because I have no idea when the PSVR is showing up. All right? So it's kind of uncertain. Tuesday and Wednesday will definitely be Gears of War and WWE. But I'm probably going to play it by ear, or I may even do a poll on Twitter, @TheyCallMeDSP, where I try to get your opinions on what I should be doing on Tuesday in what order, okay? Now, whenever
why not, that's the thing, is like, oh, I don't know if it's coming Thursday, then why not just make it so that you could play Gears of War or WWE on Thursday, And then if the VR comes later that night, do a VR stream that night, or do it the next day. But whatever.
PlayStation VR, whether it's late Thursday night, Friday, I'm going to be doing extensive coverage of this thing. What does that mean? Well, if you're not aware, you may be totally out of the loop because, you know, PSVR, especially if you don't care about VR, why would you care about PSVR, right? The way this thing's working is, it's launching with no game. It comes with nothing. Great, right? Buy a giant, expensive peripheral, comes with nothing to fucking play on. It always makes sense, right? But there's a ridiculous amount of releases coinciding with it. I mean, I'm not kidding. 30 games are coming out for PSVR. Now, some of them aren't really...
Wait, what? He just said that there's no games coming out with VR, but said there's games coming out with VR? And, I was just at Best Buy, by the way, fun fact. The new Tomb Raider game, the Tomb Raider re-release for the PS4, that's VR compatible. That in VR is out, so that's, I don't know if that's an actual game or if it's just like, oh, Batman VR missions or whatever. I don't know. I don't fucking know. So those are two games right off the top of my head that have VR that are games, but he just said that there's no games for it, but there's games for it. Let's hear that again.
Releases coinciding events, right? Great, right? The way this thing's working is, it's launching with no game. It comes with nothing. Great, right? Buy a giant, expensive peripheral, comes with nothing to fucking play on. It always makes sense, right?
Okay, yeah, it comes out with no games, but like the thing is that it's a huge peripheral that costs money, and no company is gonna want to sink money into VR blindly without knowing how it's gonna sell. Because if anything, they might just go with the Oculus, because I think that might be a decent seller compared to the PSVR. It's a different kind of ball game. Whatever.
But there's a ridiculous amount of releases coinciding with it. I mean, I'm not kidding. 30 games are coming out for PSVR. Now, some of them aren't really games per se, and I think what's going to end up happening is there's going to be a lot of criticism around the fact that they're selling these $20 to $40 experiences. One that comes to mind that I've already heard about, Batman, the Arkham Knight, or Arkham City VR, I'm not sure exactly what it's called. Everyone's like, oh, it's Batman in VR, right? Well, guess what it is? It's detective work. You're basically going around using the detective sense from the Batman games, his detective detective sight, whatever it's called, to do investigation into cases. Oh, someone got hurt here. Oh, link it to this. Follow the pheromone trail over here and do that. And you're doing it in VR. All right.
Detective mode. I don't know what it's called. Big Batman fan. It's called just detective mode. Nothing really fancy, but whatever.
Cool. But apparently there's no combat whatsoever. It's just that. And people are saying you can beat it in an hour to 2 hour tops. So 20 to 40 bucks. I'm not sure what the price tag on that one is. 20 to 40 bucks for 2 hours and no combat, just doing, that's what I get the feeling a lot of the experiences on PlayStation VR are going to end up being. This really overpriced, almost tech demo of what virtual reality could.
I'm not saying WoW be the Phil. I'm saying WoW because I can't believe Sony is. I can't. And people shit on the Wii for being a gimmick and doing all this shit, but at least the Wii had games. Just saying. But I mean, obviously the PSVR is gonna get more support down the line, of course, like Resident Evil 7. But it's like, then why would you want to get the PSVR day one? It's gonna drop in price. I'm just waiting for the price to drop, if anything. But I don't really give a shit about VR. VR is a fucking gimmick. Look, if you like VR, if you think that's the natural progression of things, that's fine. Hey, man, still all for you. But man, I really could care less about VR.
Could be, but not a fully fleshed out game. Now, there are supposedly some fully fleshed out games for this thing. We're going to investigate all of this later this week together. what I'm gonna probably do
We're gonna investigate. We are not him. We are.
is around Wednesday night-ish, I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna try to get a list of all the games.
The day before it ships, he's now gonna look. He spent $500 or $400, however much it is to buy the VR, the PlayStation VR. He's now gonna look up games. Now, you weren't gonna do that before you sunk your money in there. Like, when I buy a console, I look at the games. Like, when I was thinking about buying the 3DS, I looked at the games that was out or were coming out. They said, like, well, should I get it now or should I wait? It was same thing with PlayStation 4, same with the Xbox One. I don't have the Xbox One yet. I'm glad I didn't buy it yet because of the new Scorpio coming out next year. So it's like, okay, well, I'll buy that, see what's going on with that next year when I see more about it. But, like, he's now just looking up games? He had all summer of downtime where nothing big is going on, and now he's looking at, okay.
Right? And I'm going to see if I can get people to say, oh, what games out of this list are you interested in? Maybe I'll even make a list and post it up on my Twitter and see what feedback I get from people. What would you like to see?
He said that he's saying this. These faces. He's saying this so that a fan, one of his fans, can make a list, and he's going to use that list. You already know fans email him shit, so if someone's going to email him a list, don't worry. Phil isn't going to move his little finger.
The most, because there's a wide range. There's on-rails horror jump scare shooter from Until Dawn. Remember that game from last year? Yeah, it has a PSVR game. You've got a golf game it's called a 100-foot robot, and it's really weird. There's flight games. There's archery. There's everything you can think of, right? Everything under the sun. There's getting a game on PSVR, but are they games or are they experiences? And that's what we're going to have to find out firsthand. Now, the bottom line is, with 30 releases, there is no possible way I could cover everything for PlayStation VR. I mean, just price-wise, you're talking $20 to $40 a pop times 30. Sorry, I don't have $1,000 to drop on software for the PlayStation VR. I'm already spending an incredible amount of money to get the thing just pre-ordered, and all that. I'm spending an incredible amount of money on it in that regard. So, honestly, I'm going to have to pick and choose what I want to cover and what people are looking for me to cover with this thing.
Maybe he should have waited. But of course he had to get those day one views.
Okay. Honestly, what will probably happen is after a couple days, people will watch everyone's coverage of it on YouTube, and if there's something I haven't covered that's really good, they'll probably tell me, and then maybe I'll check it out. But the bottom line is, the way it's going to work is that I'm going to start covering PSVR either, Thursday or Friday, depending on when I get it. I'm going to balance that with the other games. So you're going to see PSVR coverage, maybe for a day or two. Then we'll swing back to maybe WWE or Gears of War. And then we'll go back to PSVR maybe another day to break things up. Maybe we'll have days next week where we balance it. Because the good news here is that there is now another high-profile new release after the release of the PSVR for over a week. It's actually going to be Friday, October 21st is the release of Battlefield 1. And that I'm really excited for, and that I'm definitely going to dedicate and give some major time to, all right? But I want to give PSVR coverage. I want to play Gears 4 and WWE, and sometime in this time frame of 2 weeks, I want to review Mafia 3 and Gears of War 4, and I want to do an edited style video after I've had enough immersion in PSVR to tell everyone about PSVR as an edited video on KOGaming. So there's a lot.
Yeah, KOGaming, that hot channel where he missed every opportunity to make good videos. He could have made an impressions video on the remasters he played. He could have talked about his time before and after, all that stuff. No. KOGaming is reserved for only new games that is mainstream, casual bullshit.
A lot of shit I have to do in a short period of time. I mean, we're talking within, not even 2 weeks' time. I have to cover some 3 full games, all the PSVR shit, and put out multiple reviews and edited videos. It's going to be out of control.
I'm
going to ask you for patience, all right? If I'm late for a stream, if I'm sounding a little agitated or disheveled, if I lose control and I say something stupid on Twitter, please be forgiving of me. Now, I'm not saying that
Oh
I'm gonna have
my
a
god, are
meltdown
you
or whatever,
fucking
but I know
kidding
these
me?
next couple of weeks are going.
What? So a video game is gonna make him lose his mind and say wild things, but you have to forgive me because I might say something fucking ridiculous. Are you fucking kidding? Are you fucking 12, Phil? You're playing video games. Like, oh. Now I'm sure someone's gonna tell me, Theo, why are you so mad? Why are you mad? I'm not really mad. It's I can't believe this fucking man baby is acting like a baby, but whatever. Please, guys, I've been playing a lot of video games, okay? That's why I'm so agitated, okay? If it can work for Phil, it can work for me. There you go. How about that? So every time you type or think, Theo, why are you so mad at Phil? Just remember, I play video games, so that might be why.
To be incredibly stressful for me with
Stressful.
trying to.
Video games are stressful. People who, doctors, policemen, firefighters, soldiers, people who have actual jobs, all those people, yeah, they're stressed, but, they usually try to have, like, a level head on Twitter and all this kind of stuff, and they're usually easy to talk to. But Phil, he plays video games, guys. It's a very taxing job. Don't you fucking tell me that, oh, well, I have a hard day at work. No. You sit your ass down and just sit here and listen to this guy. He has such a hard life. He's like my rabbit. She sits in her cage the whole day. She eats carrots. She eats pellets and she poops. And I have to clean up her poop, otherwise she'll get a maggot in her foot, which isn't fun. So, she has a hard life, like Phil. They both have very hard lives. They need to be pampered to the extreme. The only difference between these two is that one's a fucking rabbit and the other one's a human being.
Weigh and balance all this stuff and get it all covered for you in an efficient fashion, all right? And the funny thing is, some people might say, if Phil just didn't cover every major release, it would be much better, right? Because the problem is he covers every game, and then he gets caught up in too much stuff, and this is what happens. He gets overloaded.
But he said last year that it would be better if he doesn't cover every big game and all that shit. He said that. He said like, well, it's great that I'm only playing games that I want to play as, and I'm not rushing to play every game that comes out. And now is he trying to justify that? What?
And that's why his stuff isn't as good as it used to be, which is ridiculous because I used to cover even more stuff back in the day. I actually cover much less now. Case in point, guess what? This week, guess what else is coming out this week?
But like that makes it look worse, Phil. That makes it look even worse at that, because like at least like in the past he played a lot of games, okay, and okay, he played a lot of games, so anyone can kind of see why he would be agitated, maybe because he might be at a hard part of the game and he's struggling, whatever. But now he's playing fewer games and he's getting the same amount of stress. Even hell, you can even argue he gets even more stress. And now he's like saying that it's better now than it was before. But even though he just started out saying that he's getting slammed by games, he's very stressed. He might say dumb shit on Twitter like he always does, but now he has an excuse for it. I don't fucking understand, man. Like, he said a lot of dumb shit before during the summer downtime. He called people retards on Twitter, so well, there was no new game releases, but now it's like is he gonna say something even more offensive? What is this last part is like mind-boggling, because I don't understand what the fuck he's talking about anymore, because he's just saying shit. He's trying to justify his negative attitude on Twitter by saying, well, if you see me say stuff, you gotta forgive me, I'm playing a lot of games. Now he's trying to justify that. Oh my god, man.
A game that I actually want to play, Duke Nukem 3D, the HD remake. They actually remade this game for modern audiences. It's a more modern game. It has these new features. Someone told me it has a rewind feature and all this stuff, and it sounds great to me, but there's no way I'm playing it this week. I mean, how could I?
Yeah, well, yeah, because everyone is dying to see WWE, right? That's a hot game. Everyone wants to see that. And watch it. But like, also, it's funny. He said he doesn't know what he's doing Thursday if the VR doesn't come in. It sounds like the best time to play Nukem 3D.
You know, how could I? And it's something that I want to do, and I made the executive decision. I'm not doing it unless by some miracle I finish everything and everything's cleared up and I have time for it. That's going to be something that I put on the back burner, maybe as a downtime playthrough in the future. In addition,
he has put a lot of games on the back burner. You notice that? If he hasn't quit the game in some way, rage quit, whatever, he puts it on the back burner forever. So there you go.
It is rumored.
It's gonna be a Patreon playthrough.
Heavily rumored, okay, that Overwatch is going to get a new character and a DLC expansion in the next week. I mean, we heard nothing of this.
Look at this. If this was Street Fighter V, he'd be like, fucking Capcom! Throwing out DLC characters, not telling anyone! Oh my god, fucking Capcom, they don't know what the fuck they're doing! They're inept, guys, okay? And now he's like, Overwatch is coming out with a new character, man. I want to play, I don't know when. Oh well, like, he's gonna say that, I bet.
Up to now, like, there was no hinting, Blizzard didn't say that they were gonna release a new character or anything. If it is true...
I am not an Overwatch fan. I only played the free weekend of Overwatch, and that was it. That's the only time I played it. And even I was like, oh, okay, cool. And even I know that they're making a new character.
Great, but I don't know if I could drop everything, you know, on a dime that I'm covering to do Overwatch. I want to. Again, just like Duke Nukem, I love Overwatch. I've been playing it all year. I've enjoyed the game. It's the game I've gone back to most this year. Surprisingly enough, I've played Overwatch more than I played Street Fighter V this year. So,
but see, if this was Street Fighter V, he would shit all over it. But since it's not, and it's a game that he actually likes, he has to suck its dick. Okay.
That doesn't say something. I don't know what does, right? But how do I cover it when I have all this other stuff that I'm also covering that I'm interested in? And it's pertinent to cover that as a new release. You know what I mean? So, it's going to be a point. There's going to be a breaking point when I have to lay down the law and say, no, okay, I've decided I'm covering this and this and this, and sorry if you wanted to see this. If I ever do cover it, it'll be in the future. Because the bottom line of it now, I just mentioned that I have basically 2 weeks to cover all this stuff before Battlefield 1 comes out, right? Battlefield 1 comes out Friday, October 21st. On Tuesday, we've got Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. That's the Tuesday after that. The end of that week is Titanfall 2, which I'm on the fence about covering right now because I am kind of...
He's gonna play Titanfall 2, okay? He's gonna play it. He's talking so much about Titanfall 2. He's gonna fucking play it. I don't care. I don't care what anyone tells me otherwise. He's gonna play Titanfall 2. He's gonna play it. He hasn't stopped talking about it. He's gonna play Titanfall 2.
Intrigued if the campaign is gonna be worth a shit. Okay. Oh, by the way, that week is also the Dark Souls 3 DLC. Oh, and guess what? On October 31st, I'm doing my Halloween marathon. Okay, I'm not actually dead.
Wow. Like, there's something to say, like, oh, it's not that bad here. It's just a joke. It's a harmless joke. But with jokes that pertain to racism, suicide, all those sensitive jokes, you kind of have to give a better context, and you kind of have to have a... It really depends on how the joke is delivered, you know? Like, you know, look at South Park. They do a lot of jokes like that, but they do it in a way that it adds to something. Like, the beginning of this new season, they tricked people into thinking that this little girl, whatever, killed herself by, like, you know, having her being in this, like, bridge, having it be a stormy day, and then her looking sad, and then, like, the camera pans up and you hear a splash. Like, you're like, oh fuck, she committed suicide, holy shit. But then you see the next scene after that, when they're in school, they're, like, very sad, they're like, oh fuck, they really fucking killed her. And then they're like, the camera goes to her still being alive, and they're like, oh no, she killed her phone. See how that joke pans out? Because it makes you think that, oh my gosh, you committed suicide. Oh fuck. Then it's like, oh, just kidding. You know, it plays to your expectation. This is just out of nowhere over video games. Like, you can say that it was built up by how many games he was playing, but they're fucking video games. He could have done a better joke. That's all. That's really all it is. It's not. It's not like Phil's a bad person now. He's a terrible human being for doing this. It's not that. It's not that. It's just. It just wasn't that funny. There you go. It wasn't that funny.
See what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be crazy, and I'm hoping that you're enjoying my coverage. I know
Oh
that
my
this
god!
week has been very
I
hectic.
want to get that face.
I'm hoping. I'm saying, like, it's gonna be crazy, and I'm hoping.
Yeah. A nice little screen. Oh, no. There we go. Look at that face. If that doesn't look like he's begging, I don't know what does. He looks like he's begging for views. Like, please give me views.
That you're enjoying my coverage. I know
Oh
that
my
this
god.
week has been very hectic.
He held that facial expression for a long time. For a long time. Just saying.
Some people, they watched the first couple of streams or sessions of Mafia 3, and once they saw that the game turned into a grind, they're like, oh man, why'd they do that? And they stopped watching. I get it.
That's the new excuse why Mafia 3 gets shit views. I mean, it makes sense, to be honest. It actually does kind of make sense. I'll give him that. Like, if I played Metal Gear Solid 5, and all I did was the side ops, or if I, whatever, you guys would be bored. I mean, the only way that it would be entertaining is if I do more than just, like, if I don't do, like, now I'm gonna go over here. Oh my god, I went over there, like, yeah.
I do. It's funny because when the story comes back, it's great. And I'm like, yes, a story segment. This is awesome. And then I have to do another 2 hours of grinding. Fucking bullshit, And I hope that when I release my review, that could be reflected in the review, and that it will be more interesting to, if you only watch the first few sessions of gameplay. I mean, right now, like I said, 15.
I think he didn't articulate what he just said there very well, because he made it sound as if he wants to incorporate the boring grind in his review. Why? Why does he want his review to be boring? I think what he means... See, again, this is kind of why he means that he wants to incorporate the fun of Mafia 3, and then, and then portray the negatives like the game has. Like, he wants to portray the grind for what it is, so that it's like, to the point and all that, which is fine. But he didn't really make it sound like that. He made it sound as if he wants his review to be boring to reflect how boring the game is. Why would he want your review to be boring, like...
18 hours, who the hell could keep up with that playthrough, right? We'll see what happens tomorrow. But anyway, I want to say thank you to those who are watching everything. Thank you to those who are being patient. I know many people are eagerly awaiting my coverage of the new stuff this coming week. The hilarity of PSVR, because I am going to do picture-in-picture. You'll have a webcam going the whole time. See me with this stupid thing on my head like this. Oh.
I remember back in E3 where he said that the people who demoed VR looked like fucking idiots and all that. Like, oh, it's a terrible press conference because the people wearing VR headsets look like assholes. And now he's gonna put on VR. He's like, I'm gonna look like an asshole. I mean, it's like, whatever.
Oh, and I have a big update. Oh my god, I almost forgot to tell everyone. Oh my god, it's like one of the most important things. For PlayStation VR, one of the major things that people are a little upset about is because I told everyone, I publicly stated this, I'm not buying another set of PS Move controllers. If you don't know what those are, it's that stupid glowing fucking ball, the two glowing balls that you go like this and you do. It was the PS Move for PS3. And I bought them back then, and there was like 5 games that fucking utilized these stupid things. And after that, they just died. And they were peripherals that were never used for anything, and it was a complete waste of fucking money, and they cost a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, over 100.
And the same company is expecting people to pick up and adopt the PlayStation VR. The same company. Just putting that out there.
$100 for a set. It was ridiculous. So I was adamant. I said, sorry, Sony fucked me once with these stupid PS Move controllers. There's no fucking way I'm buying them again. I'm not an idiot. I'm not.
Sony fucked me once, so I gave them $400 for the console for the PlayStation 4. I gave them like $200 or $400. However much was the PlayStation VR. You paid for those, but $60 for the PlayStation Move controllers? No way, that's way too much, man. Okay, yeah, sure, buddy.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, because I got fooled twice in a row, right?
But you still buy their products. You still bought the next gimmick peripheral that they're trying to sell. But you won't go all the way with it. Okay, yeah.
A fan has contacted me and said they're willing to donate their set of PS Move controllers to me because I heard that I said I wasn't going to use it, and they were like, man, some games seem like they would be innately better by using the PS Move controllers, all right? So if it's true and if it arrives in time, I will have a set of PS Move controllers for the launch of the PSVR. I hope, fingers crossed, they get here on time and the fan wasn't bullshitting me. It wasn't just some asshole acting. I don't think it was. I think this fan is someone who I talked to a couple times over the years. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's true. If it's true, he's going to get a giant shout out when I get these things.
No, I think I've seen some people kind of criticize that part, but I think it's fair that he's not going to give him a shout out until they arrive. I mean, it's kind of a dumb. I guess it's kind of a dumb thing anyway, because all you're saying is the guy's name. But here's the thing. Here's why I don't think it's this bit. Here's the silver lining with that. Let's say that guy was a detractor, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck with Phil and do all this stuff." I mean, it's a dumb thing to fuck over Phil with. But let's say that that happened. And Phil gave him the shout out, and he's like, "Oh my god, you fucked me!" And he gave me something else instead. Like, he gave him like whatever. All of his fans would attack that guy. So to be fair, it's fine that he. I just don't think he needs to say he needed to say that though. He could have said like, a fan might be sending me a PlayStation Move controllers, or you could say a generous fan has offered to send me PlayStation Move controllers, but I'll give you more details as it comes up. Or you could have said like, I might be getting the PlayStation Move controllers, I just don't know yet. Give you more information as they arrive. But the problem with that would be, it's such a hard line stance against the PlayStation Move that would be interpreted as him flip-flopping. So I don't know. I just think you should have said a generous fan is donating me the PlayStation Move controllers, and that's it. You could have said that. And when he got it, then he says, "Okay, so my PlayStation Move controllers were sent by this guy. He's really cool. Whatever. It's whatever."
Because people want to see me use PS Move with the PSVR. So we'll see what happens. No promises, but it would be awesome if I had that, because some games supposedly are better with this, and because this has the light right on the front, and some games supposedly are better with the Move controllers. So we'll find out firsthand later this week. All right. So that's the weekend preview. The conclusion of Mafia 3, hopefully Monday. Gears of War 4 and WWE, PlayStation VR, when I get a chance, probably near the end of the week to early next week, reviews of games that I can review and or a kind of montage coverage of the PSVR, all for KOGaming. So KOGaming is going to get some high-profile coverage of reviews and stuff in the next couple of weeks, which is great, because it's been dead for a couple of weeks now. There's been nothing going on, and I need to get videos up there so people are interested again.
Okay.
Next week will be balanced coverage of Gears and WWE and the PSVR, heading into Battlefield 1 on the 21st of October, and then again, more new releases for the end of the month. Whew. Now, keep in mind, that's not all. Tomorrow, I'm releasing a new episode of DSP Tries It. I was supposed to release it on Friday, and I was so effing busy, Saturday. I was so busy with Mafia, I forgot about it. So tomorrow, I'll be releasing a new DSP Tries It, okay?
Cool.
There will be other, there's probably going to be other DSP Tries It and stuff this month. I'm going to try to keep up with everything else. I don't want to neglect stuff just because I'm so busy with new releases, all right? that is it for the weekend preview. Super long, I know, but super informative. Hopefully, I covered
Super
everything.
long.
Thank you for being
Super
patient.
long. It's 25 minutes. That's like usual time. I mean, if it was like 40 minutes or like an hour, I could see that, but it's like 25 minutes.
Everyone, please, Twitter for nightly polls and stuff on what I'm going to be playing for these nights. It is very important you follow me on Twitter so you can get in on that stuff. And of course, Patreon. Right now, I haven't even mentioned it in any videos besides my pre-streams. The monthly goal for this month, October, the Indies Marathon. Remember, I did many Indies Marathon in the past. I'm going to do another one if we hit the funding goal this month. Please consider pledging. All right, all the details are right there on the website. That's it, everyone. Peace out. And without further ado, special thanks to the following patrons from September who made the upcoming Halloween.
Okay. That's it for this video. I might want to do a pre-stream, but I think I'll make that in a separate video. Thanks for watching, everyone. It's been fun doing this, and I'm sure I'm going to get more hate for doing this. But it is what it is, man. It's, just... By the way, the person I was drawing was Ash. Fun fact. I think the chainsaw was a dead giveaway, but... Oh well. See you guys in the next one.